Hey, what up, people? Rasati out here in Singapore. It is about 10 o'clock, and I am suffering a little bit because I have a really bad migraine. So for me, I know that the trigger is that if I don't sleep well enough, for a couple of nights in a row, my body will kick my ass and say, "Hey, you stupid, go to sleep." So that's basically what's happening at the moment. But I wanted to get this out anyway before I finally go to sleep because I wanted to explain myself. So I did put up a post about distraction today, but I want to talk to you about the difference between distraction and misdirection. Still the same concept. You're changing the subject, basically, right? The bottom line is you're changing the subject, but distraction meaning it's not in your control, whereas misdirection is on purpose. You did it on purpose. And that's part of what I wanted to talk about today because I feel like misdirection is a strategy, it's a tool, it's something that you use on purpose to change the subject from what you were thinking about. And that's part of the reason I wrote the distraction post in the first place. I know that when I want to manifest something, I can't do it when I feel bad because I got to feel good. I got to feel good in order to get whatever it is that I feel good about. And if it's money that we're talking about, because that's the number one thing people want to manifest, if you feel bad about money because you don't have any, if you're thinking about the fact that you have bills to pay and not enough money to pay them with, if you're worried about how you're going to get from one day to the next, if you're freaking out a little bit because you don't want to spend money because you only have a little bit left and you're trying to stretch it, it's all scarcity mindset, right? It's all this lack of abundance that you're feeling. So how do you manifest money if you don't feel good about money? Well, the trick would be misdirection. You have to change the way you're thinking. And obviously, that's easier said than done. You got to find something that you already feel good about instantly that doesn't have to do with money, but that has to do with abundance. Now, for me, that's cooking. I know that I can cook and make a lot of food out of basically nothing because I've cooked a lot, right? I've had that, that whole college experience where you had like maybe three ingredients and you're trying to make a meal out of it. But you get innovative. You find a way to do things. The other thing I love is the fact that I have a phone in my hand always. I can create content no matter where I am, and I feel good about that. I can contact anybody no matter where I am, and I feel good about that. The fact that I can start a conversation on Instagram with people that I've never met and actually feel like I'm helping them, feel like they get something out of it, that they've received something, that is a form of abundance to me. For me to be able to sit with my daughter and read books on my phone, that is a sign of abundance to me. For us to be able to sit and listen to music together on Spotify, that is a form of abundance to me. So all those things, because I already know that I feel good about those things, I can lose myself in that feeling without associating it to money at all. That means that I can get out of my own way and start to attract the things that I do want. Now, distraction generally is associated with there's a bad connotation to that word, right? Misdirection, not so much, but distraction has a bad connotation. It means that it takes you away from your goal. Generally, that's what it means. It means that something happens and it takes you away from your beaten path. It leads you off course. And that's generally seen as a bad thing. And I get it. But I also know that you can't focus on the problem the whole time. Sometimes you got to get away from the problem in order for the solution to kind of manifest itself before you. I know that if I've been sitting and twiddling with my website for hours at a time, if I don't get away from the website and go do something totally unrelated, that's a misdirect, right? I'm doing it on purpose, so it's a misdirect. If I don't do something like that, I will not be able to see where I'm making a mistake. I won't be able to see why I'm stuck where I am. I got to get away from it. Now, the trick is to come back to it at some point. But the point is, I need to get away from it sometimes in order to see the bigger picture. I need to let that part of my brain rest for a moment while I focus on something completely different. And eventually, that solution that I'm looking for, the answer that I'm looking for, will eventually come to me. It just happens that way. I don't know why. I don't care why. I know that it works. Pretty much 100% of the time it works. And I like that I figured that out. I like that I reminded myself of that. Because suddenly when I realized that, life gets a little easier. It's like I discovered another cheat code for myself. a little hack. Us creative types, we need an outlet for our troubles, for our art, for all of it. And sometimes it is the art that is an outlet, and sometimes it's talking to people. Maybe it's just collaborating. You know that what is that word I'm looking for? It's not really throwing spaghetti on a wall to see if it sticks. It's more like talking to people, sharing ideas, just spitballing. And you find that when you do that, you get amped up, you get excited, your juices start flowing a little bit better, and you get more ideas. They say something and it triggers the next idea and it triggers the next, set of steps that you need to take, or another avenue that you hadn't considered before. And it's just the matter of fact that you had to connect with someone to get that to start opening up. I love that. I love that feeling. That's a community feeling. I'm a tribe girl. I need a tribe. I need people around me. And it may not be the same people every time, but I love having people around me. I love having my alone time as well, don't get me wrong, but this is how I distract myself or misdirect on purpose so that I can let the universe work through me, so that I can become an instrument again. It's a very strange concept, but I enjoy it so much. It's very freeing. It's almost as if now that I know how to get out of my own way, I have no excuse but to get out of my own way. Now that I know that I do get distracted very easily, and I know that if I don't give myself a time limit, that I can't focus the way that I should be, I get distracted. Those are hacks, those are cheat codes that help me. While distraction is seen as a bad thing, me knowing what distracts me is great. It's self-awareness. And I can't stress enough how important self-awareness is. Because once you know about yourself, you can find a workaround for almost anything. You can explain yourself so well that the other person will be like, oh yeah, when I see this start happening with you, I know what to do now. That's how you build trust. That's how you build intimacy. I just wanted to put this out there. I wanted you to hear or get the aha that I had today, or over the last couple of days actually, because it's been so major. It's changed the way I feel about my work. It's changed the way I feel about my home office, the way that I sit in front of a computer so often, where I'm sitting in front of a TV, hanging out with my mom and my daughter, and I pick up my phone and I distract myself every so often. It's the reason I'm really good at engagement on Instagram without getting blocked anymore. I figured it out. I let the pattern happen. I saw the pattern when it repeated itself. And the third time I understood the pattern, and now I know what to look for. I know what the trigger signs are. So I know when I'm about to get distracted, and I know when I need to misdirect. And that, my friends, that's been major. I hope this made sense. I hope it helps you guys. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep bringing you these aha moments as I have them, because it's a great way for me to document for myself and to let you know instantly, this is what I figured out. This is what I believe right now. And it may change in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, a couple of years. I don't know. But right now, I felt like I broke through something, and I wanted to share it with you. All right, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. I need to get some sleep, and I'll talk to you soon. Night.